Hello and welcome to our Top TV YouTube channel. Um, we are going to be ranking in a tier list some of these TV shows that I found. I found a tier maker list here. I'll go ahead and present the screen. It's called 2010s TV show tier list. So it's saying that like there are specific seasons of shows like The Office, which is like season 7 through the finale and all that. I'm just going to be ranking these off of the full show instead of thinking, what season is this? What season is that? So that's where we're going to rank these. Just as a little disclaimer here, I'm going to edit this to the lowest I'm going to go is the C tier. D tier is going to be called Did Not Watch. That is if I have not seen the show. I don't think I can accurately do that. In that case, I already kind of know some S tiers that I think are automatic for me, and those are my favorite shows of all time. So if we go ahead and put in Arrested Development, um, I am also a fan of season 4 of Arrested Development. Season 5 is the probably the worst season of the show, but I still enjoy most of it, especially the first half of season 5. I think is really great. It's more of the back half that I have some issues with, but Arrested Development is my favorite comedy of all time. It's up there. I'm a big fan of season 4. I even really like the recut season 4 as well. So that's that. But something that I haven't shared on my list is some of my other favorite shows, right? Like we know that Arrested Development and The Office are up there along with Lost. The Lost is not going to be on here. It just misses the cutoff of, I guess, 2010. But let's find The Office. The Office is going to be an S tier for me as well. Obviously, the show kind of, I think, really starts to go down in like season 6 is what I would say, right? Like this is how I kind of talk about The Office. Seasons 1 through 3, like grade A, gold standard Office. And then you have like season 4, which I think is just a little bit of a step down, but still very enjoyable. And then I kind of have season 5, which is another step down, very enjoyable though. I like season 5 a lot. And then season 6 is kind of like the step down from that. We start talking about Jim becoming co-manager and Saber and all of that stuff really starts to unravel for me. I still end up enjoying the show overall, and when I rewatch, I watch all the way to season 9 or whatever. But for me, the ones I rewatch the most and the episodes I always go back to are seasons 1 through 3, definitely, and a lot of times 1 through 5 is kind of where I hang around when I'm watching episodes of The Office. But I'm just putting it up there because that show was very formative for me. I was in high school when that show came out, and when I found it, and it was with me throughout high school. Same thing with Arrested Development. Um, I started off by buying the DVDs of those because it was before streaming, and then just falling in love with both of those shows. So those shows are up there. There's two more that I looked right off the bat that I said these are S tiers, and it is related shows of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Breaking Bad, of course, is one of my favorite dramas of all time as well. Lost is usually the one I say, but Breaking Bad is also up there. I came to it late. The show was already wrapped up by the time I watched Breaking Bad, but then I was able to jump on the Better Call Saul train, and stuck with that through the end. And both those shows are just, I don't know, immaculate. I think the writing in there is very good. The production is great. Editing is fantastic in those shows. So those are my for sure S tiers as I'm looking at this. Some of these I have not seen. So let's go ahead and start moving the ones I have not seen. Jane the Virgin. My wife has watched that. I have not watched that. Bob's Burgers. Maybe a surprise. I haven't seen that. Or Barry. Or Mr. Robot. I'm thinking about covering this on the show. Right now it's not streaming anywhere, but maybe when it does, we can do like my first watch of Mr. Robot and talk about episode by episode or season by season, figure out, if I can cut myself off after an episode or whatever to record. Let's go ahead and put, I haven't seen like Eastbound and Down or Glee or Good Omens. Oops. Broad City I've seen bits of. I think it's all right, so I'll put it there on the C tier. Drunk History, let's wait for that. BoJack I'm going to put in the B category. I really enjoy BoJack. I started off really loving it. I fell off of it and haven't revisited it. So I feel like without me seeing the full thing, I'm going to put it in the B and could rise to A. Atypical, I have not seen. Atlanta, I have not seen. People versus OJ, have not seen. 13 Reasons Why, have not seen. Okay, let's go with Mando. Right, I'm gonna move it up here. Mando for me, I'd probably put in the A category. It's one of my favorite of the Star Wars shows, but when we talk about that S tier, I'm comparing it to stuff like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul when we're looking at like action, suspense, television. The writing on Mando is not up to those pars. I guess you could say, well, you have The Office and Arrested Development up there, which those shows tail it off near the end. But I feel pretty good about putting Mando in the A tier. Psych. Let's go ahead and put Psych up here. Psych is one of my favorite shows of all time. I am going to put this in the am I putting it in S? I feel like S should be like my favorites. But Psych is that. Psych is up there for me. I watch it a lot. I enjoy the show a lot. Let's go ahead and put Psych up there. All right, Community. I did enjoy Community, but I'm putting it in the A tier. It does not reach these levels for me. I think there are some seasons, season 4 that kind of goes off the rails. I'm not too much of a fan of just how much we start losing characters. That's also kind of a knock against The Office, I guess. But most of those people stay around. And 30 Rock, I'm going to go ahead and put in the A tier as well. I find those two shows very similar. I enjoy both of them. Again, it's not a knock to put them in the A tier, but S tier is kind of like my favorites. That's also where I'm probably going to end up putting something like The Good Place. And I will probably put Sunny in the B tier. Now, I really love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but it's just gone on so long at this point, and it hasn't reached some of those older heights. I'm going to put it in the B tier. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, I watched like a couple episodes of. I'll put it in the C tier. South Park, guess what? Haven't watched it. Surprise. Rick and Morty, I have enjoyed, but I would say I'd probably put it in that B tier. Not enough to get in the A, not enough to get in the S. I have to be in a certain mood to watch that. I think that's something with like what I'm finding on column B right here. BoJack, very cool show. I can be, it'll make me sad a lot. So I had to be in a certain mood to watch it. Same thing with It's Always Sunny. I have to be in a mood, and Rick and Morty have to be in a mood. So that's going to be the B tier. And that's very similar to how Archer feels to me. Okay, so there are some others here. Parks and Recreation. At times it's better than The Office. At times it's not as good as The Office. I'm putting that in the A tier. Parks and Rec is going in the A tier with these. And in fact, I'd probably put it somewhere like this if we're ranking them like that. And this would be pretty accurate for me on how I'm ranking stuff in the S tier. B tier, it'd probably be more like that. Okay, Flash. This show I just watched, I have a great time with it. It probably sadly goes in the B tier. I really love The Flash. It's my favorite of the Arrowverse shows, but just inconsistency wise, probably have to put it in the B tier. Legends is my second favorite of the Arrowverse shows, so I will pop that right there. Where does something like Shameless I've seen bits of from my wife, but I'll just put it in that tier. Sirens haven't watched. New Girl haven't watched. Star Trek haven't watched. Making a Murderer haven't watched. Okay. Drunk History, I enjoy it. This is another one of those, you know what, I'll put it high C. I really have to be in the mood to watch Drunk History. I enjoy it. But yeah. Okay, haven't seen Watchmen. Cleveland Show, I would put in the C tier. Yeah, bottom C tier. Okay, American Vandal. I have watched this. I enjoy it. This would probably be a pretty B tier. So that's season 2, right? And this is season 1. Yeah, I enjoy American Vandal. I don't know why they split them up. I guess because they're different stories, but there you go. Master of None. This is a clear B tier for me, and like put it right here. I enjoy it. Have to be in the mood to watch it. I feel like maybe I should actually move some of these up to A. You know what? Let's go. It's Always Sunny is going to go up to A. This is where B tier will sit. Okay. I just feel like I'm putting too much in B. We'll revisit. Walking Dead is in C tier, like here. How I Met Your Mother is one of those shows that I really enjoy. The ending has kind of ruined it for me where I don't even really ever revisit it. So I'll go ahead and put it in the C tier, top C tier though. Really great episodes at the beginning of the series, like seasons 1 through 3 of How I Met Your Mother are classic. It kind of falls apart for me with the ending. Succession, I haven't seen it. That's on the list. House of Cards, I'm going to put here in C tier. I really did enjoy House of Cards, but I didn't finish it. And then you had the whole Kevin Spacey stuff come out, so leaving it there. Stranger Things, we're going to go ahead and put in the A tier around here. So that's where we stand. So let's go ahead and just look at it one more time here. S tier, I only have 5 shows. Arrested Development, The Office, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Psych. A tier, we have Mando, Stranger Things, Community, Parks and Rec, Good Place, 30 Rock, It's Always Sunny. B tier, we have Flash, Legends. Like, I feel really harsh about those two. Why I have them on the B tier. Like, I feel like they could be A, but who knows? BoJack, Master of None, Rick and Morty, Archer, American Vandal. Then C tier, we have How I Met Your Mother, Drunk History, Walking Dead, Broad City, Unbreakable, Kimmy Schmidt, Cleveland Show, House of Cards. And then did not watch these shows. I wish I had, maybe I could add a, I was going to say, if I could like add, I think you can usually add a thing. We definitely could add files. But look, I'm going to try to find another one that maybe has different shows in it that I can like revisit it because there's some of my favorite shows that are not on this list that probably are in this time period, or maybe I have to look at an earlier time period to do it. But you know, like shows that I would want to watch and maybe cover on this podcast would be stuff like Barry, Mr. Robot, Secession, Watchmen, stuff like that. Those are definitely a chance to cover there. But yeah, I mean, if you really want to know anything about me, S and A tier pretty much tell you everything you need to know about my tastes, I think. Yeah, well, that'll wrap us up here on my tier list ranking. But just keep subscribed to the channel if you like this. Like and subscribe to Top TV, where we are starting our television podcast that can cover, you know, what I consider peak TV, or just, you know, it may not always be peak TV. Maybe there will be a show that catches my attention that I want to talk about that, you know, isn't that. But here on Logjam Media, the podcasting network, this is more about us being able to do TV discussions about whatever show really tickles our fancy here. So like and subscribe for that. If you like listening to podcasts, you'd be able to listen to the audio version of our episodes, which right now we're talking about Severance Season 2 weekly on the podcast. You can also find it here on the YouTube channel, but this episode is more YouTube specific here with being able to show the tier list. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you next time.